Hey gang, I'll talk about my latest project here. I've developed a preamp, acoustic preamp, that is on a extremely flexible platform. I guess you could say this is an a la carte system. Believe it or not, all this stuff that's out here is interchangeable. There's a couple basic parameters. One is what type of battery connect do you want? What type of controls do you want? And what type of piezo do you want? Other than that, all this stuff connects. To go through a couple of them, these two boards, it's all the same preamp with just connection changes, the type of component that is used to connect. Other than that, it's identical preamp, which is really nice if you have multiple guitars and you want consistent sound across the guitars. You can do that with this and have a variety of types of controls. This control, this board and this board are the same with the exception of the type of battery connect. This one here is for a tail pin and a battery bag, and this one here mounts to the battery box. Just to show a couple here, or show this one, this would be a non-destructive install. The only thing that you would be doing to the guitar would be making a larger tail pin hole for the tail pin output. Piezos, battery bag, all of your controls, bass, treble, bass, mid, treble, and volume, and you mount this up by your waist. And before you mount any of these, you're going to set it outside the guitar. You're going to plug in your input and your output, and you're going to play your guitar, and you're going to adjust your pots to the baseline sound that you want. You're also going to adjust this trim pot on all of these boards based on what piezo you choose. This piezo, I know for a fact, is really hot. It's a really hot piezo. Not quite as hot as my pads, but much hotter than this piezo. So even if you had this piezo this long, it's going to be a different impedance. All these are going to have different impedances. This particular trim pot right here handles that. It allows you to adjust that impedance just before distortion, so that when you're turned up full volume, you're not getting that distorted sound out of your system. You stop just a little before that. Once you have that set, you don't ever have to change that again unless you change piezos. Then you'll have to readjust it. But once you get your baseline set, then you pull your strings, mount your board in there, plug your stuff back in, and you're good to go. But down the road, in a battery type board is the same. You set it all up, but down the road you get a new mixer, you get a new DI boxes, something changes, and you need to tweak your baseline setup. Well, if you mount this board by the waist, you can come in with a long neck screwdriver, come under your strings through the sound hole, and you can adjust these pots. You don't have to pull the board, you don't have to take your strings off. You can just slip in there and adjust these pots, and you're back in business. And this one, being a battery box mount, all you would need to do is take the 4 screws out of the battery box, pull it out enough that you can access these pots, make your change, slip it back in, put the 4 screws in. These boards are designed size-wise to fit inside the hole made for the battery box. So they just slip right in, and that plugs in there. Your piezo plugs in there or here. All of these boards have dual inputs. If you have a 2.5 micro plug, or if you have a 2-pin like these, either one will plug in. Okay. All the boards are, or all the batteries and the tail pins are all switched so that nothing is on unless your guitar is actually plugged in. My pads are incredible. I was just absolutely blown away when I started testing these, and I went through quite a few different sizes and different styles of capsules and things, even different wires for connection. And when we got to this combination, it just blew me away. These are so sensitive and so clean and clear. It's just, oh, beautiful. All right, now, connectivity. If you want a sound hole design, say you want sound hole, but you want to be able to change the battery, this works just like this. And you just have a little longer ribbon cable that reaches the sound hole. No problem. If you want a Taylor style connect with 3-knob, then you have a ribbon cable that reaches the neck from the battery pocket. Not a problem. By the way, this is a direct Taylor replacement. These are on 20mm centers, and this will fit right in place of the Taylor board. So again, complete versatility. Say you mount this board in one guitar, and later on you say, I'm going to sell that guitar, but I love this board and I don't want to put another one in. Maybe he doesn't care if it's electric or not. You can remove the board, and say you had sound hole controls on that guitar, but when you put it on your other guitar, you want knob controls. No problem. Just order a knob kit and it will literally plug right in. Completely interchangeable. This system also has another benefit, and that is being able to be used in a humbucker piezo combination. And the way this is done is with this style of board, either in a battery bag or battery box. Again, doesn't matter. But this board allows you to get your piezo and your humbucker matched. There's a couple boards out there that do this same thing, and they do it through this impedance trim where you set up for what piezo you have. This trim pot will go on mine from negative 10 decibel to positive 10 decibel, anywhere in between there. And what that does is it actually changes the volume a little bit as well. But the boards out there that only have that can't get that balance quite perfect, especially if you're considering the fact that you're plugging this in that's super hot, or you're plugging this in that's not. That's a bit too much range for the pot that's in there. But what this does is you get as absolutely close as you can with this, but being that I have the controls mounted on the board, now you can still set your tone, but then you can use the volume to adjust it so that it's right on with that humbucker. More often than not, the piezo is going to be hot compared to the humbucker. So you're going to have to kind of turn it down just a little bit to get it balanced. You want to be out there playing lead, you flip that switch up and you're screaming electric lead on it, and then you want to flip down into acoustic and you hit that switch. you want that transition to be about the same volume. You don't want it to be way low or come in way hot to where you have to adjust your volume control to play on. You want them set. This board allows you to do that. There's 3 things that you need to choose. What type of battery connect I want, what type of controls I want, battery bag, battery box, controls, onboard, sound hole, Taylor style. I even do through body, which the setup that I did with this naturally has through body controls, but I also use this board and have connectors here that go to individual pots. Also, you can have however many pots you want, however many controls. If you want all 4 of them up, like a Les Paul or some of the other guitars, you can have all 4 of them up there. If you want just a volume and a mid, because there is some overlap between all of these. You could get by with just one and in your setup get it kind of where you want, and then just have one that kind of bounces between them all. You can have any number of knobs you want, up to 4. From 0 to 4. Here's 0 and 4. So again, flexibility, super flexibility. If you have any questions, you're interested, drop me a comment here on the website or send me an email. I'll get back to you usually within a day. All right, gang, have a good one. Bye.